Welcome to Live, Let Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello. Welcome back
to another exciting episode of Live, Let Thrive.
That's pretty terrible. Anyways, yes, welcome back to Live, Let Thrive. This is episode 17.
And we are your hosts.
Oh, my name is Steve.
And Myka.
And we have a special, what's it called? Co-host.
Yeah, we can't call her a guest. She's been on the show.
She's been on before. Give it up for the lovely Mahogany.
Thanks. Hello.
Hello, Mahogany. How you been?
Been doing pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah. Kicking butt and taking names?
I forgot to take some names, but...
You got a couple of the names down,
yeah,
right?
I got a couple down.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I've been doing good. You know, getting ready for the big move. We've been, what's it called? Cleared to close at the house we're going to buy in Arlington.
Yeah.
That we were talking about. We avoided the whole condo fiasco, and thank God for that.
Dodged a bullet?
Yeah, big bullet. I'll tell you real quick about that. Episode 17, Live, Let Thrive. A buddy of mine that was actually has a condo in those same places.
Oh.
The same complex. He has a condo there. They're not letting him rent out his spot right now. I don't know the whole lowdown, but his other buddy, which he lives with, he's saying, yeah, right now they're not letting him rent out his condo at all. And I think maybe it's his condo is a little rough around the edges or something, not up to snuff. And they said, no, you can't rent it out right now, dog. And so I'm like, man,
wow,
screw HOAs. You know what I'm saying?
HOAs suck. Unless you're doing corporate rentals.
So thank goodness, exactly. Thank goodness I didn't get into that.
Yeah, because they could have switched it up on you at any moment. You could have just got set up for Airbnb and then they pulled that one.
Oh, they did that to y'all.
Except for, did we know about that?
Know about what?
The HOA blocking short-term rentals before.
Yeah, we kind of just did it anyway. So yeah, I do tell people, let people know if you're gonna be, renting out places, HOAs. Let them know. Really, the good thing about it is our realtor told us if it was HOA ready, and we kind of did it anyway. So.
Well, you know what though? I feel like we had already decided to buy that condo before she even told us the HOA banned things like Airbnb. So I felt that's why we were like, well, we're going to do it anyway. I was actually on the Airbnb community center the other day, and I found out that a lot of people have that issue where they thought they could, or just did it anyway, rented out their condos against the HOA rules.
Right.
Yeah.
And one couple, they were like, okay, so what we're going to do in the community center when I was reading that, so what we're going to do is create a contract saying they're staying for 30 days, even if they're staying for like 2 weeks. That way, if stuff hits the fan, we could show them this contract, and this contract shows it for a year. What are they going to say? Let me talk to the people?
Right.
So but here's my thing. How do you get people to sign this 30-day contract if they only want to stay 2 weeks? Like, are they going to be like, nah, I don't want to be binded in this contract? But that's what they said they were doing on the community center. Some people who are
I wondered about that. If you could do that, say, hey, wink, wink, it's a 30-day contract, but you can bounce after a couple weeks. I'm sure people do that.
I don't think it'll work in our HOA. Our neighbors are too nosy. They'd go tell somebody, like, hey.
And that's what I put on the community center. I'm like, that sounds like a good plan, but with our neighbors, they're taking pictures of our Airbnb guests, their cars or license plates.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
sending them to the board of the HOA board.
Yeah. So corporate rentals have been helping us out though, so we can't complain. But yeah, we got some crazy neighbors, man.
That's crazy, man.
It's good for a corporate rentals because at least you could,
It's safe.
It's safe. People are looking out. They're all retired. They're home like all day.
Right. That's sweet. Yeah. So I dodged a bullet with that condo in South Padre Island. I still love South Padre Island, and right now prices are dropping even more right now. So I don't know what's going to happen with that whole island. I mean, it can't just keep dropping forever, right?
It could go underwater,
man. Yeah, that hurricane makes
the hurricane. Yeah, but it didn't really hit Padre too hard
this time.
Yeah, this time. But for some reason, it barely ever gets hit. The hurricanes just somehow go up north. They just go up north of Padre. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure maybe they're due for one. It's always a risk.
I would say only because of all the erosion that's going on, all the damage to the planet. Things are happening. Even, things are going to start happening more and more frequent than what's been happening lately.
Right.
Because you can't just keep doing certain things to the environment and then expect it not to react eventually.
Yeah, gotta take care of Mama Earth.
Yeah.
But there's like out there in where we stayed, we recently did a trip to Padre, and my wife, my 2 daughters, and my buddy from Argentina went with his wife. I'm sorry, girlfriend right now. They'll get married one day. But anyways, and it was cool. We had fun. And out there in the distance, though, you can see way out there. There's the oil derricks, the oil things, and platforms in the middle of the ocean, and it kind of takes away. And you see, like, we saw a big tanker just sitting out there for like the whole week, and we're just like, yeah, this is kind of it's kind of taken away from my little beach fantasy here, but. There's plenty of oil under there, so they're going to keep coming.
That's how Galveston is, man. Galveston, used to be beautiful down there. Now you look out there, you see a huge oil rig. You're like,
it's just taken away from it, man. It does. But we need to drive our cars, bro, and not get price gouged.
So, in this week in Airbnb, what have you guys been up to? Well, what have you been up to, Steve, besides the house? Because I know Airbnb has been giving me a hellacious time, kind of like our last guest, Peter.
Oh man, shout out to Peter, the treehouse guy from Atlanta, Georgia, the number one most wished. Is that what it is? Wished.
Saved place, I think it was.
Place on
wished place.
Wished. You wished.
Okay.
Wished for. When you hit a wish button and you're like, this is cool. I want to stay here.
Yeah.
He has like 600,000 people on there wishing to stay at his place. So crazy number.
Is it like them wishing to stay there, or like saving it for later?
I think it's the wish list.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
But he said he could rent it out every day, all year round if he wanted to, every single day. But he takes days off, and he runs it all by himself, talks to all the guests by himself. Cleans it by himself. I mean, this dude, he has one of the most popular ones in the world, and he does it all by himself. That's crazy. It's awesome. It's his baby.
Aww.
And I understand that. He speaks about the treehouse like it's a living, breathing thing.
That's awesome.
It's his passion,
and it comforts him when he needs to be comforted.
And that's why he was so honored. I'm sure he was like, I'll talk about it on the podcast because he loves it so much. Like I'm telling folks about her. Yeah. What's her name? Did he have a name?
A name for the treehouse?
Yeah.
He didn't have it. He might. We didn't ask him. But
he had an old man.
But that was a tree that's out to the distance, right? Mm-hmm. One of the big trees that's right there. And it's not where the tree houses are, is it? It's just he has like a bench going around the old man. Mm-hmm. He has this giant what do they call it? Georgia pine or whatever?
I'm not sure what they call them.
That's how much we pay attention to our guests.
but
anyways, and he calls it the old man.
Oh,
he said it's been there since the Civil War. He said there's a story behind it, and so he gave that one a name. And when he brings guests on his property, that's the first thing he shows them. This is the old man. You need to respect him. Be cool to the old man. And
I have like so many questions, but I guess I just need to listen to it.
I'll get you a copy. Don't worry. I'll get you a bootleg.
Cool. Before it even hits theaters.
Before it drops.
But the thing Peter was going in on was the customer service of Airbnb, which I 100% felt them on it. We're not here to bash Airbnb or, we're just keeping it real. You know what I mean? And he had some interesting things like he can't get a hold of them or they are slow to respond. Kind of like what me and Mahogany been going through the last 2 weeks with the old case manager that took our money and then took our money again and pretty much created a fiasco for us. So
damn,
I knew exactly what he was going through.
Damn. And one thing that inspired me about the Peter Bayhouse. Yeah,
I don't want to butcher his name.
Yeah, he kind of corrected us really quickly and Bayhoos. So he whatever. I'm sorry, Peter.
Peter, I hope you're listening to this.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope you are.
He did invite us to stay at his place.
Yeah.
It's the most popular Airbnb in the world.
I would love that. Thank you,
We got
Peter.
connections. Yeah.
Yeah, we got connects
We got connects.
in the Airbnb world.
And if you look,
slowly but surely.
yeah. And if you look at the Live Let Thrive notes that y'all are both on, and this is before the interview. The thing I put before I even talked, we interviewed the guy, was the art house ! My Airbnb ! And I was thinking it all day today, and my house in Arlington previously, I still have the house in Arlington that I rent to long-term renters, but that was the art house. I called it the art house, and we had art everywhere. We had Christmas lights in there. It's like really real cool little festive place, and people loved going there. And I never did Airbnb on it or anything, but we did art shows, we did music shows and stuff like that, and I just thought it was the coolest spot. And people liked going there. And I was thinking, well, just all day today, I've been going back and forth. Should I just long-term rent it, be easier, or it's more guaranteed, or should I do corporate or Airbnb? I've been going back and forth. I'm like, man, no. If I turn it into like something I love, something I'm passionate about, and then like the art house, put up art everywhere, put cool stuff, decorations, and it'd be fun. And I love doing it, and I look forward to being here. I'd love to come here every time, even though if I have to clean it or whatever. I just love being at my art house. And then when we interviewed Peter, he was just all about, he built that tree house because he was passionate about the tree house. It was something he always wanted since he was a kid, and he just went off and did all these cool things to it. And he doesn't even have to advertise or sell it because people connected with that, and they have experiences there. And women, like a woman brought her sister and said, "This is my birthday present to you," and she just started bawling, she started crying. They had like this cool, experience, and he said he started like crying a little bit seeing that, But it just people come here and just like enjoy something that I, created, or me and my wife created. Yeah, it's a comforting spot. They just come here and enjoy. It's not just a regular run-of-the-mill hotel or just a run-of-the-mill whatever. It's just something that they have an experience at. And I was like, that's what motivates me about starting my Airbnb.
And I like really, really like sports, right? And what he was making me think of, like, maybe I should turn each of my rooms into like an NFC East room. Like, because, okay, the Cowboys play each NFC East team twice, right? Right. So each of those people are going to come here. So like make an Eagles room, a Giants room, and a Cowboys room. And then deck out the living room upstairs. Mahogany shaking her head.
She's shaking her head.
No, it's just the idea I had. And then
what if the Cowboys room is booked and the Giants fan has to stay in there? Something like that.
It doesn't really matter.
You don't know. That's why I was like, let's not put up pictures of us wearing LSU gear because they might not like us for that reason.
I'm the one said that.
No, I said that.
Right.
Whatever.
I said that.
But you're gonna have these rooms catering to one specific
saying, for the
group
NFC
of people.
East fans though. Whoa. Yeah. So for like the NFC East fans, I don't know. It was just something kind of weird. It might, because like it seems like his listing gets so much attention because he didn't do it for financial freedom like we're doing. He's doing it for a passion. Like that's what he loves to do. So
right.
Yeah, it was just. That was really cool about him. It was his passion. And what he was saying, like, when he gets people leaving him reviews, Mahogany said that the other day. She's like, dang, I love it when people say we're able to accommodate them, give them what they need. And it's a real awesome feeling. And that's what keeps us going to be better hosts.
Yeah. And I thought about that idea, too, before doing, like, the house over there by the stadium right now, doing just the whole Dallas Cowboys thing. Because the Cowboys, I was like, that'd be cool. People would see it, and I was like, oh crap. What if a Redskins fan or Eagles fan wants to come to town? They're like, I ain't staying at no damn Dallas Cowboys
exactly.
house. So I just thought of that right away. But then I thought, well, do like a generic, sports theme throughout the house. Have some old black and white pictures of football or of whatever sports, soccer, because people come here to see different things, and just decorate it like a sports house, not just one team or whatever.
That would be an awesome idea. Call it the sports loft.
We need to get another place for that.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Our next investment property.
Because I noticed, like, when the guy, I think even if you catered it to one team, I think people would still come, because the last guy who came for the Cowboys game, he's like, man, I came here because you guys are way cheaper than hotels. Like, because our room compared to a Motel 6 room, Motel 6 charges $110 a night.
Oh, damn.
For 2 people in a king-size bed. I'm like, yo, we got that. And you get a kitchen. So we definitely raised our prices up for the next guest or whatever. Definitely.
Now, did you have success renting the whole top out like you were saying you were going to do?
Yes. We actually
nice.
have 2. We have 2.
Go ahead.
Oh, we have 2 inquiries on the table. One lady's coming for the game. She got back to us this morning. I guess she's still waiting on money to book or whatever. And then one guy's trying to stay through the Christmas holiday, 10 nights for a nice little payout.
For the whole top?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's a nice payout. And Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're definitely moving.
I'll tell my wife to say hi real quick. You got your wife on. I'm going to throw my wife on.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Say hi, babe.
Hi.
Do you love Airbnb?
Oh, I love it.
The new house we're buying, and it has a huge back room, which would be perfect for Airbnb, but we're not using it for that. We're going to use it for her beauty salon. Yeah, she just got her esthetician degree, so we're going to have, yay.
Salon, facials, massages, and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, good stuff. Then she get her cosmetology license, and she'll be up and rolling. She's an entrepreneur, too, so we're lucky. We got 2 wives that are entrepreneurs.
Yeah. So you can go to Steve's Airbnb, get a massage, makeup.
Good idea.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if
that's what you're into.
Yeah.
So we're lucky dudes. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely, we are.
I banged my head today at work, literally on a desk. I dropped I feel like doing that sometimes. I'm so frustrated at work. But I dropped a pin underneath the desk, and I went down, just reaction, and went down to get it. Boom! And I had my sunglasses on my head. Shattered my sunglasses, but they were just dollar store sunglasses, whatever.
So you expected that.
Yeah, and I'm like...
The expensive was they ate it in South Padre.
Oh, I lost them in South Padre Island, my Oakleys.
You have bad luck with glasses.
May they rest in peace.
Yeah, that's true.
Every time I go to the dollar store, I buy 10 pairs of dollar sunglasses. I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah, so...
But anyways, so I banged my head real hard. Maybe I got a concussed, but
Whoa.
I'm like, no, I don't know about that hard. But it was pretty hard. And I got a hard head. But I was thinking, would that make me be a better host? Myka, what do you think?
What?
I don't know.
Am I kicking butt today?
Depends on what ideas popped into your head after you banged your head.
No ideas at all. They all just flew out of my head with my sunglasses.
Speaking of ideas, the epic Bigger Pockets post.
Oh, that was good.
So me and I pretty much I have a keyword set up for Airbnb on Bigger Pockets.
Yeah.
And I had to send this to Steve and my wife as soon as I saw it. I sent a text to both of them. This dude pretty much was like he rents out his place to people that like oil workers, miners, or whatever. And I guess it's kind of a secluded area. And he's like, yeah, I get people hitting me up all the time, and they tell me the local prostitutes are the ones who told him about the place. He goes, and like he posted this on this forum. We're like, really? You just said that out loud? He goes, yeah, and I guess they use the place. I guess they prefer furnished rentals over hotels. I just let them do their business. He goes, I don't want to offend anyone, but hey, it's business. Me and Steve are like, what the?
It's like, yeah, some people on this thread will be offended, but yeah, it's just business. I'm like, no, that's a brothel, bro.
Wow.
You shouldn't be putting it out there like that.
A brothel.
Yeah, we are working to get him as a guest, so
that would be cool. Oh man, we'll rate that one as the Rated X episode. Do not listen in the car with kids, please.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Something about Airbnb and prostitutes. I don't know.
Hey, yeah, we've brought them up several times.
Yeah, that's...
Hey, prostitutes are people too, Myka.
Shout out to the prostitute.
What?
For real.
Ho, ho. This real quick question to y'all. I was thinking about this today. We're getting off track here. Does having a like a home business, which is what we have, home businesses, right? And does that drop your taxable income?
That's a good. Well,
let's say your home business lost. I don't know. Let's just for numbers' sake.
Okay.
I lost $5,000 this year. Let's just say someone lost $5,000 in their home business, but it's really because you're buying refrigerators, you're buying this, and you're putting money into it, so you're going to show a loss, right? In your home business, would that be taken off of your taxable income?
I don't know because
what if you have an LLC?
Yeah, that's
if you
what
have
I was
an LLC,
saying.
it will be, I believe.
Then it will be taken off.
But if you
so
don't,
if you made $100,000 one year, right, and you want to take, so in other words, you only made 95 because you lost money in your business.
You mean as far as money when you say lose money from your business, do you mean like having to spend it on stuff for the business?
Yeah.
So like pretty much investing in your business.
Right, exactly.
No, that's going to be a problem.
Why is that?
A CPA is going to tell you that because you're mixing incomes.
Oh, okay.
A CPA is going to tell you that right off the bat. The reason that you create an LLC is for that purpose.
Okay.
So you're not mixing your taxable
your work income.
Yeah, your work income
with your business income.
Exactly. Now, I will tell you this: to get it started, your LLC started, you are under the table using your other income to start.
You have to. You need money to come from somewhere,
unless you're getting a loan. So you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
But we do teach people how to open LLCs. Whoever's out there needing to do so, contact us.
Yeah.
The LLC gurus.
Not even.
Gurus, but
we just know how to get you started because we got started. So
earlier, before we started taping this episode, Mahogany did a walkthrough of our house in Hearst, which we will be turning into an Airbnb, and she gave us plenty of good ideas. So if you're out there, you need assistance in starting up your Airbnb, start up your Airbnb. Start with one room. Just say, hey, boom, I got this extra room. I just dumped laundry in, whatever. Turn it into an Airbnb and hit us up, and even you can talk to Mahogany directly, and she can help you walk through it, and get you started on your Airbnb, your path to financial freedom.
Yes. Artist Vacations Consulting website will be up soon, so you can go ahead and hop on there and check out our packages. We have many packages from different price ranges depending on what you're looking for, how serious you want to dive in, and how much help you need.
All right.
So no excuses if you want to make some extra money. Seriously, Airbnb is where it's at, even though they've been, kind of on our bad side in some ways, but, that's still, a good way to start your own and get out of the rat race for sure.
Definitely.
And congratulations for being our first advertisement on the show.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She ain't paying us nothing, but she's our first ad. No, but she does a lot she does so much for Live Let Thrive. I mean, always posting stuff on Facebook, and she does the intro, outro. So
Definitely
let her do her thing.
I actually need to be put on here each time you guys record at the end of every show. Remind people because you guys owe me, okay?
You get some residuals.
Right, at the end of each one. I get 30 seconds.
Yeah. So, the Dallas Cowboys are getting us paid this year because they're going to the Super Bowl and they're going to win it all, right?
Let's hope so. I mean, one playoff game is all you need, man. Playoff games, I jack up the price so high. I'm serious. Like, much people are playing to see a playoff game.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm jacking up prices, man. If Motel 6 charging $120, I'll charge $150.
Whoa.
No, only because those rooms are going to get booked. People are looking for a place last minute. That's what happened.
They need a spot.
That's what happened last weekend. He's like, I was just looking for a place last minute, and you were open. I was like, cool.
Dang, yeah. So here we go. Make the playoffs. Make a good, strong run, home field all the way. Oh, man.
Let's hope Zeke doesn't get suspended the next 6 games, or else we might be sitting on the bench.
Yeah, Alfred Morris looked good in preseason, but that's a different story, right?
Yeah.
So I put curtains up this week.
Oh, yeah. Got the curtains up.
The first time in my whole adult life that I've my wife with me, of course. But the first time in my In my whole existence on this planet, I've ever went curtain shopping. Usually I put like a sheet or maybe some aluminum foil. I go real classy, you know. And I'm not even joking.
I do not do the curtain shopping. I'll let Mahogany do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the aluminum foil.
Aluminum foil. Yeah. See, I used to work midnight shift for a long time. And so I had my room just blacked out. I mean, just dark. Not one shred of light could get through that thing. I aluminum foiled the windows.
Uh-huh.
And I put like a big blanket over it too.
Why didn't you just go get some blackout
blanket? Those weren't black enough. I needed no shred, no. I put like 3 layers of aluminum foil on my windows in my room, not the whole house. And it was my house, so I could do whatever. Apartments frown upon that. But anyways, I even blacked out. They had a bedroom. It was the master's. I had a bedroom and bathroom adjoining it. I put the aluminum foil in the bathroom too. I didn't want no light creeping in. I had it so solid black, and I wouldn't. If I went in there took a nap, I'd wake up. I wouldn't know what day it is or what time it was. You know?
Dang.
But
he wasn't playing.
But I worked midnight shift, so I had to have a good sleep when I got home. You know, and if there's any light coming in, I couldn't sleep well. My wife, she likes night lights. I don't like night lights at all.
Like 2 or 3 months after we get married, I take it off.
She
completely.
took all my foil off.
I don't blame you.
She made my butt go to day shift. And
You actually gave me a good idea. Next time I have to go to night shift, I'm doing that. You said use foil, right?
I use aluminum foil to cover every
No,
single...
we'll go buy some blackout curtains with the extra panel to go with it. We don't need all that.
Yeah, but probably I will get it again in January.
Yeah,
But it's worth it.
I might have to go back to midnight shift in January.
Oh, really?
Oh, man.
Because, well, she's going to do her cosmetology. So I'm going to have to go. She can't watch the baby in the morning if she's going to school. So I'm going to have to go midnight shift, get home, watch the baby. She gets home, you know. So we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. But it's only for 6 months.
That's how it was when we first had our baby. Off topic, but it was like that.
Yeah.
Except for, he had to work night shift.
Yeah.
It's lonely at night.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs, they find a way, right?
Yeah.
Everything works out, you know. People complain and I'll never be, I can't go to school. No, there's always a way. You might have to sacrifice a little bit, but there's always a way. So yeah, that's what's been going on. Curtains everywhere. I put them up all over the house, and some spots they look cool. Other spots I'm not sure yet. I might get some other ones, but right here, yeah. So I've never been curtain shop in my life. I guess we went to Ross. Was it Ross?
Mm-hmm.
Ross.
Yeah, and they had good deals there. It was actually Walmart had similar prices, but they had the cheap Walmart brands.
Yeah.
Ross had like the actual name brands that looked good, and for about the same price as the cheaper Walmart ones. You know what I'm saying? Like they had, like the Walmart curtain rods weren't as fancy looking as these curtain rods, but they wanted about the same prices, like $5.99 for the curtain rods. And fascinating stuff. I'm sure the listeners will go, "Oh, well, tell me more about your curtains." But maybe. But yeah, so that's a good tip. Go to Ross.
Yeah.
And you get the name brands for about the same price as the
Ross.
knockoffs.
And what was the other one? TJ Maxx. Do TJ Maxx have it? No, they don't.
I don't go there.
They do.
TJ Maxx
And
has Marshalls.
Yeah, Marshalls.
All those spots,
Yeah.
you know. And so I bought curtains, and I'm excited about that. What's new in y'all's world, Airbnb world? I know you were wanting to vent. I don't know if you got it all out on the last show, but you were wanting to vent about Airbnb.
So my biggest problem with Airbnb is they can refund people their money without notifying you. And I don't know if that's Airbnb's policy or if it's
Someone's mistake.
Like, even at that, let's say she did make a mistake. Let's say she legit refunded this guy's money. Don't you think us as hosts should know that? You know?
Right.
Yeah, because pretty much she refunded this guy's money and he stayed in our place. And he didn't ask to be refunded. He asked her to take off taxes. So me and Mahogany were into it tough with Airbnb. But he refunded the money. They ended up taking it out again because of a mistake this lady had made. And then we ended up getting the money back. So it was like 4 times. We were just going back and forth with Airbnb. So,
jeez.
And then I think, like I said, I don't think the people that answer the phone work for Airbnb. I truly think they're virtual assistants because they can't transfer you anywhere. That kind of tells you they're a virtual assistant, which
Right.
I'm not sure on that. I don't want to put that on Airbnb, but I mean, I know they're growing right now. So it's going to take a while to probably build that help desk or support center. So I'm not knocking them, but it needs to come pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to come with it soon because so many people complain about it on the community center. If you all who don't know, I'm really big on the Airbnb community center as far as always getting on it. And if you are a host on Airbnb, you have access to the community center. And the more you like stuff and write posts and things, the more your listings are advertised on Airbnb, kind of that higher up. They pop up in the search more than others if you're active on the community center, from my understanding, from what I've noticed, and from what I've read on different links and stuff.
That's good that you say that, because on the last episode, Peter actually told us, and it was good hearing it from his perspective, that being a superhost does affect your ranking and your rating on where you show up. Because he said when he lost his superhost status, he lost 500,000 viewers, I think. 500,000 views. That's a whole lot of views just from losing superhost.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So, I mean, I guess now it kind of is worth it to be a superhost. You are going to have people asking for more stuff, but I'd rather take that than that's a big hit,
And listen to the last episode to see how he lost his superhost status, because it'll make you mad.
Yeah, it was pretty messed up.
It'll be like, man, that's messed up, Airbnb. Yeah. Come on, you're bigger than that.
Yeah. Also, so Airbnb's been doing the whole thing with the, hey, for the Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Irma, we'll let you rent your place out for free.
Right.
So at first I was like, okay, cool with that. But I think I figured out why they did that. It's because the platform, I think they built it so they can't take off taxes. And what happens is when states go in state of emergency, hey, you can't charge tax. So Airbnb was getting hit up, because I know I got hit up about it. People were hitting them up saying, hey, I want this room, but I want you to take off the tax. Some people weren't affected by the hurricane, but they know they can take advantage. Like, hey, state's not charging tax. Let's go on a quick, let's go on a quick vacation. Which, in their mind, they're actually right, because you can't charge them tax. So I think Airbnb was like, forget that, just book your place for free, and I'm not sure if that's the case, but it seems like it was. So I don't know. Maybe Airbnb's taking a little bit out of that tax money. I'm not sure, but hey.
And that was Peter's gripe. He's like, look at us. We're Airbnb. We're giving places to stay for free. It's like, those aren't your places. We're the ones giving these spots out. He goes, you didn't put a brick up at my house or anything. This is my house. I'm giving people somewhere to stay for free. And you're like, oh, look at us. We're we're so good. We're so valiant. But he had a lot of woo.
See, I'm calm now. That's why I'm not talking too much. I'm already over it. But when it first happened, I was furious. I'm like, I want to speak to your manager. But I tell that lady, okay, it sounds like you don't know what you're talking about. Can I speak to a manager, please?
I ain't gonna lie. That's one good thing I wrote on the notes. You have to have a dependable partner. Mahogany is way better at talking to people than me, because she heard me, I was going off.
I was asleep. I'm like, hold on, what's that noise?
So Mahogany woke up. She's like, give me the phone. Let me handle it. She got a manager on the phone and got it taken care of. So that's why you got to have a good partner, because me.
Myka's about to have us lose our money and get kicked off
Airbnb. I'm not a people person when it comes to crap like that.
Oh my gosh.
I heard something funny on another podcast, because I'm still a long-term renter. And so most during the week, I'll listen to real estate podcasts, right? And then getting close to when we're going to tape, I'll jump back to the Airbnb podcast. I do a mix just to get it going. What did I miss in the world of Airbnb? And but I was listening to this one real estate podcast. This guy was talking about his long-term rentals, and he had done a lot of his work in war zones, And one of his thing was, he said, "Oh yeah, if someone starts right off the bat with the whole God bless you, sir," and this and that, right off the bat, he goes, "That's a warning sign. They ain't gonna pay no rent." and it's like that's true. My renter said that to me. They're like, "God bless you." I'm like, oh, they're trying to play the God card. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it goes.
For real, that gets to people's emotions.
Yeah.
Man. They're like, oh, it's so sweet.
I work for CPS. I work for Child Protective Services. like I always get some of these parents sometimes who are just like, and we go to church. Like some of the, I didn't even ask you if you go to church. Like, why are you sitting here telling me that we go to church and we read the Bible together every night? Like, really? Come on.
Then after that, I beat my kids.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right. Okay.
I thought that was the funniest thing. So beware of
Pull the Jesus card.
throwing the Jesus card at you right off the bat. I lost my job, but God's gonna see us through this. You know, yeah. Watch out for that. They ain't gonna pay you no rent.
Yeah. No offense to those.
No offense to no.
Those religious people out there.
I love God.
You asked your last question. You asked what else we've been doing.
Yeah.
I have to admit, Mahogany is hands down the best Airbnb stager if you're looking to get your place staged for Airbnb. We put up our room M, and in
M looks nice.
Yeah, you seen it because Steve was like, "Oh, that room M." So, in a matter of less than 7 days, we got less than 2 weeks, pretty much. We got 3 bookings, 3 5-star reviews right off the bat, and we have someone coming this weekend. So,
jeez.
Yeah, room M's moving.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
It's been booked ever since the day we posted it. We got a booking.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Hit up Mahogany.
Yeah, and it's like really because I'm pretty picky where I stay, places I stay at. So when I walk in, the first thing I like close my eyes and envision me staying here. Now, what are my feelings? How do I feel? How would I want it to look if I was staying there? So like I really can break it down because I'm picky. Michael would tell you I've left places, not to be bougie or anything, but if I'm paying money, I want to stay in like, where I want to stay at.
Right.
Nothing less.
And I have a question for other Airbnb hosts, like if someone wants to call in or hit us up and answer this question. When you become an Airbnb host, is it kind of hard to find other Airbnbs to stay in? Like, because I know I'm really picky when I look at them now, because I'm like, man, I'd have this way, or, it's kind of hard for us to, because like we were looking to go to San Antonio, we just couldn't find an Airbnb to stay in because they just didn't meet our standards.
There's a lot of bare bones out there.
Yeah, there are.
There is, yeah. Just have a bed, and that's
and they have
pretty much
reviews,
it.
so I know they're successful because they have reviews. So people are staying there.
The lady with bed bugs.
Even she had folks coming.
People kept going back, and she had bed bugs.
Oh man, that's nuts.
It was like $100 a night. It was something pricey.
I was gonna say we spoke about it when we were doing the walkthrough, and
Okay.
I have a treadmill here that I don't really use, but I should, and and I have some weight equipment, and I said, well, in the garage I could set up a nice gym for people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was seeing if that's a good selling point or if it's even worth it to do that. And y'all were saying, I don't know, that people like gyms, they like just to get their workout on, and I was gonna ask, and the question I put on here in the notes, I was like, would a gym be good? Or would it even be better to do like just use my garage? Just don't let them use the garage and use it as a storage unit for my stuff that I'm going to use for my Airbnbs. You know what I'm saying? To keep stuff in there, or
I'd go asset, man.
well, that would be an asset too.
What do you mean
it's a
go
storage
asset?
unit. I'm not paying for, right?
True.
Yeah,
In a way,
but
That's true.
but a gym might attract more people.
Yep.
You think?
yeah, because we have a neighbor that has a gym. So, because, I go through Airbnbs, private rooms, and I see what they have that we don't. They have a gym. So
Right.
I went out. I'm like, okay, we got to beat this guy out. So we put refrigerator, microwave, walk-in closets. You kind of got to look at competition. Like, look around your neighborhood, see who has a gym. If they don't have a gym, it's a plus for you.
Yeah, that's true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would also, to see kind of off-air type thing. See, like, if you're gonna, what are you gonna have in the storage unit? Like, are you gonna have a bunch of stuff that you could be selling? Because if that's the case, stuff that you're just sitting on, like, what is it for? Is this stuff that could be sold, but you just kind of have it all stashed away in your garage, and you could be using that as money? Being a part of the sharing economy.
That makes
Have
sense.
his one of your guys' guests I listened to said if he hasn't touched something in 2 weeks, he gets rid of it. I'm not-
that was Jasper. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not saying be that extreme because you're not living with only a backpack. But if you haven't touched it in a couple months, like, what do you like? Why do you still have it? Because then you're going to become a pack rat and have all this junk. Like,
Good point.
That's true. That was one thing about Jasper that inspired me. He said, I haven't touched it in 2 weeks. I don't need it. I was like, dang, that's true.
He even gave away, gave away his favorite soccer shirt, which is that's big time right there if you're into soccer.
Yeah.
For real.
I was gonna tell y'all. I think did I text you that my investment group, the stock investment club,
Oh, yeah.
we finally turned a profit, dude.
Yeah.
After 2 years of investing, we've made $5.
There you go, man.
Okay.
Slowly but
That's the
surely,
truth.
man.
I think we're up to 40 something now, but still,
That's good.
after I think I made that the first. Oh shoot, I made more than that the first month of renting out my house. You know, I was like, so I think real estate's the way to go, and just for my own trying to
Oh
pick
my
stocks kind of
Well,
thing.
good job.
You know?
But speaking of meetups, Myka and I
Nice segue.
went to this meetup. Well, at first I thought it was for Airbnb meetup. And then Myka had told me later that it was a meetup about investing in general. Investing, right?
Yeah, investing, entrepreneurship, pretty much a bunch of entrepreneurs getting together.
Oh,
And so I had told my friend and her husband that this was an Airbnb meeting. Because that's what I thought. And I didn't have time to tell, or I didn't even think to tell them, oh, no, it's not.
Yeah.
So my friend and her husband get there. And this guy from the other end of the table gets up and comes over to my friend and her husband. And these are my friends that I helped set up Airbnb for. So he comes over there and he's just talking to them at first casually. And then he starts talking about, is anyone here in pain in any type of way? My friend Kelly, she's been working out for this competition. And she's like, oh, I'm sore. My knees are kind of sore. This guy pulls out like a metal pen. And he's like, this is, what did he say it was? What did he say the pen was? He's like, it's silver. And he just starts twirling the pen over her head, twirling the pen over her kneecaps, and was like, do you feel it yet? Do you feel it yet? Her husband's just looking like, oh my God. Because the guy kept going about it.
Like you write with.
Yeah, like a writing pen.
Yeah, he comes out
He starts
and
twirling it.
he's trying to sell this product. He first starts off his pitch sell. Yeah, I have this silver that I use and I snort up my nose anytime I'm in pain. And it cures everything right out of your body. I'm like, oh, God.
And I'm not trying to be funny, but not saying big people can't be healthy. But he was looked like a pretty unhealthy guy.
Wow.
That was hilarious, though.
But then he just starts pulling out all kinds of things out of his pocket, like all types of products from this line.
He starts pulling out these, like I'm sitting there right next to him and he's like, hey, you feeling fatigued? And he pulls these pills out of his pocket and said, take these. Gives you 6 hours of energy. I'm like, what the hell is this?
And he's like, who has good balance here? Who wants to take the balance test? And then has people getting up, which was only my friend. She got up and did the balance test.
And I felt so bad because like the Airbnb, the host, the organizer of the meetup was like a legit investor, wanted to learn. I taught him about Airbnb. He was a real cool guy, the organizer. But yeah, it was like a bunch of pitch sell people that were ruining it, man. So
There's a bunch of people there selling some like oddball stuff, like kind of as seen on TV items.
Right.
So, yeah, be careful with these meetups, man. Matter of fact, me and Steve will be hosting the first Arlington Airbnb meetup soon. We aren't going to pitch you anything.
No.
But if you do feel like giving up money, we do take donations, $100, $200, $300. We will take those. You know.
I might show up with some pitches.
There you go.
But I don't run it, so I can if I want to. I might be like that one guy, Bill.
Who? Bill?
Bill.
Who's Bill?
Bill's the guy with the magnetic pin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Sorry,
Remember
Bill.
his name.
Sorry to put you on blast.
Yeah.
So did she get better from getting that stuff twirled over her head?
She said yeah, but I think she felt bad because her husband kind of went off on the guy.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like, well, what did he say?
I don't really want to talk to you anymore, Bill. You were intriguing at first, but now you're just over the
weird.
top.
Now you're just over the top. And he wasn't even talking to Bill. He was talking to someone else about Bill, so it was kind of mean.
Poor Bill.
Yeah, I'm like, he's just out here trying to sell his equipment.
Twirl his pen around and save people's kneecaps and stuff.
Yeah.
Poor guy. But yeah, our meetup won't be like that.
Yeah. Oh, I found out about this new Facebook page that I've been using for corporate rentals. It's called the Gypsy Nurse. And what people do is it's just a whole page. It has like 10,000 traveling nurses in there. And what what nurses do, they go to this page and they post, hey, I'm going here. Does anyone have a corporate rental for me? And you pretty much, and then you can either post your place in there like, hey, you can come here, or you can just go in there and freely advertise. If you want to get into the corporate nurse world without using corporate housing by owner, which I still use, check out the Gypsy Nurse. You can get approved through Facebook. The lady will approve you, and man, you'll get hit up pretty quick. So,
Sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And one thing that we have some people hitting us up with questions now.
Oh yeah, shout out to Neely. And who else was it? Neely. We've been talking to Neely all week, man. He said some good stuff.
Neely's been hitting us up with some questions.
Yeah.
And one thing that he wants people that like do crash. He wanted to know information about crash pads, and I kind of know. Well, I've heard about them since I work in the airline industry, right? Because flight attendants and pilots be flying around, whatever. They just need a place to crash sometimes, and crash pad, because they might be stationed in some city that ain't close to home. So they just need a spot to lay their head while they're here, and then they get back home, whatever. And so he wants to get into, I guess he's been having problems renting to students. He's saying that he has to cook for them. I was like, it's the weirdest thing. Yeah, they're good and all, but then they get a hassle because I have to cook for them. I'm like, who said you have to cook for the students? Anyways, but so he's trying to get out of the student rental thing, and he wants to rent. He's talking about crash pads. And I was like, I sent him to this thing, and I was like, that's an untapped market. We don't talk about it too much.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of flight attendants and pilots. They just need a spot to sleep on, and there's good money in it. You know, put a few bunks in a few rooms, and they just land, do an overnighter. They just need a place to sleep, lay their head real quick, and get the bounce out of there. Charge them a few bucks. You know.
Yeah.
Little.
That's another niche. Yeah, crash
niche.
pads. If you got a spot by the airport, flight attendants. Yeah. Definitely check into that.
And so we put him on to this other site that I like an airline Facebook page where he can try to kind of host his spot. You know, He's out of Seattle, but shout out to was it Neely? Yeah, shout out to Neely.
And a guy named Tim Valley, he hit us up asking about the podcast, saying he wants to learn more about Airbnb. We'll definitely be getting back in touch with him and David and Keona Fisher. They were asking about the timeshare, so definitely thank the listeners out there for listening. We will be getting back to each and every one of you. Scheduled time to talk, and thanks.
Yeah, we're getting some reviews, getting some people liking the show. So shout out to Eddie Bag of Money. He's a underwriter, the one helping me he helped me with the last loan, helped me a real quick, smooth process with this loan. We're not going to talk about the condo because whatever, the HOA BS. But he listens to our show. He's like, man, he said every episode y'all are getting better and better, you know. Yeah. And I'm really enjoying listening to it, this and that. And I'm like, that's cool, you know. Kind of getting some feedback finally, and people are digging the show.
Eddie Bag's still open for business. I may need him to write some stuff up for me.
Eddie Bag of Money, I'll get you in touch with him.
Eddie Bag.
Like money bag, yo. Eddie Bag, yo.
Eddie Bag of Money. He calls me Stevie Stacks. It's good to be tight with your underwriter. You know what I'm saying?
Stevie Stacks.
Stevie Stacks. I like that.
What up,
Stevie
Stacks?
I think another one of the guys I was working with was Dylan or something. I call him Dylan Dollars. You know, it's just
you could be Money Mike.
Money
That's
Mike.
already taken.
Money Myka.
Money Myka.
Money Mike.
You're gonna say Mike.
Money Mike. Okay.
Oh, so anyways, so good times. We're having good times with this. I can't wait to start my Airbnb.
Yeah.
Mahogany's helping us out a lot. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and maybe I can get some feedback from you listeners out there. I feel like I come across as a kind of a harsh person sometimes. But if you guys hire me to help you with your Airbnb, I won't be mean or rude, but it might sound like some stuff you might not want to hear. Especially when I know how I was feeling when I thought I had everything together with my Airbnb. And then I had my bubble busted when I realized, oh man, I got a lot more to do. So it's better to have someone tell you, I think, from my perspective, than to have to figure it out. Like, man, why didn't I just listen? So do you guys feel like people are sometimes too harsh? Or Is it someone's place to kind of tell you about
I think
yourself?
people hold back too much nowadays. You know, this whole politically incorrect, or let's say things like body shaming or intelligence shaming, or these stupid. We can't call anybody like it is. You know, hey, you're fat, go on a diet, or you can't say that. That motivates me. Someone say, hey, Steve, you gained some weight. Oh crap, I know, I need to get back on the treadmill. You know, but you're body shaming me. How dare you? You know, it's like all this. I think people hold back too much because they're afraid to offend anybody.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, like with the advice you're giving someone advice for their financial future to help them build a business. I don't give a damn how straightforward you are. Because, I mean, I need you to be straightforward if I'm about to succeed. And I think that's what makes or breaks people. People that can't take it how it is, you're going to kind of,
Oh, I don't want to do it anymore. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know. And I don't want to discourage anyone, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't want to discourage people by telling them how it is.
I had a really good sports metaphor for what we were just talking about. And I can use it. Okay.
Hey, go ahead.
They always say Kobe Bryant was hard to play with, right?
Right.
They say LeBron's easy to play with. Who wins more?
Yeah.
Kobe. You know why? Because he's an asshole. And he's tough. If you're an asshole and you're tough, get stuff done
Everybody
faster.
picks up their game.
Yeah, exactly. You can have an off night, but my people are going to help me out. Straight up. That's how it is.
Guys, I'm a Kobe, so if you don't play well with Kobe's,
Me too.
I don't know, find another team.
Straight up.
Because I will put the fire under your ass, since we're cussing on this episode.
I think Myka started that.
But Myka knows.
My bad.
He knows I'm harsh on you at home. Like, things that need to be done that you might not be too worried about.
We're not sharing home stories on the
We
podcast.
can. That's why I'm here.
Don't give my wife ideas. Okay?
Do you feel like I'm harsh on you?
No.
Get in the shower. We got to go. Hurry. Get in the shower.
Because I don't have to listen.
But how do you feel, though?
It doesn't hurt me.
Because you do listen.
Sometimes.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't bother me. But no, I like when it comes to business, I like people being straightforward. Like, we were at the meetup the other day, and the guy, Austin Carr, he came up to me. He was like, oh, man, when I sent you that message about the popping on the headphones, I didn't want you to be offended. I'm like, I don't care, man. Me and Steve went and bought some pantyhose, and we fixed it up.
Yeah.
That's the type of feedback we want. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We want to get ourselves better and improve ourselves,
Exactly.
Some pantyhose.
Just like what's it called? Emperor has no clothes, or whatever.
What is it called?
The Emperor Has No Clothes. Remember that famous book when we were kids?
Emperor's New Groove.
Okay, I'm gonna confuse it. Maybe the king has no clothes. I don't know. It's a story, a kid's story, about this king who wants to wear the finest robe that money can buy, this and that. Mm-hmm. And this cotton man kind of comes through town and starts sweet talking the king, telling him, "Hey, I got the finest fabrics, blah blah blah, and you're gonna just love this." And he does these things with his hands. He goes and he pulls it. He does like a box. He pulls this out, and there's nothing there. But he's saying, this is the most expensive fabrics and this and that. The crowd, people will love you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And all the people around him are afraid to, the king's like buying into it. Oh, yeah. Don't you see it, king? I mean, intelligent, smart, people like you can obviously see the quality of this. Yeah, it's great, Yeah. And so he convinces the king to take off his clothes and put this fake fictional robe. The king pays him all this gold for it. I'm probably screwing up the story, but anyways, all of his subjects are afraid to say anything to the king.
Wow, this is crazy.
And the king's standing there. How does this looks good, doesn't it? And he has just surrounded by yes men, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, king, that looks great. Yeah, that's great. And he goes, let's go tour the city, and he's walking around naked through the city.
That's too much.
And then it's a weird kid story, by the way.
Right.
And so finally, and one of the people are like, look at his clothes, and people don't want to look stupid. They're like, yeah, it's great, that's beautiful, that's awesome, Finally, one dude says, the emperor has no clothes, like finally someone points it out, and the king's like, oh crap, I don't, all these yes men agreed with me because I didn't want to look stupid, they didn't want to look stupid, so on and so on. But finally, someone, hey, you ain't got no clothes on, And that's a metaphor for how we don't want to offend our friends and stuff like that.
I'm the first one to offend my friends, but not trying to. My friend had on a wig, and it was pulled up too far on her forehead. And she was walking around all day with one of our other friends. And I get into the cafeteria and I see them in our break room at work, and I was like, "Girl, why is your wig pulled all the way down on your forehead like that?" And she told my other friend, "Girl, you have me walking around like this all day and didn't say anything." And I was just like, "Yeah, girl, pull that back."
You got a booger on your face and no one tells you all day until someone finally, oh.
Yeah, but like when Steve was telling me that story, that reminded me of Coming to America. Remember when Eddie Murphy was looking for a wife? He's like, "So what type of food do you like?" "Whatever you like." You know, she didn't have an opinion. He was like, "I'm going somewhere else. This ain't worth it, man."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I heard a cool term, and it's called skill stacking. You've ever heard of that term? Skill stacking?
No, what is that?
Okay.
No.
For example, with real estate, let's say you're not the best person. You know a few things to do around the house. You know, okay, I can do a sink. I can maybe do a toilet. Okay, but I'm not the best at doing the rest of the stuff. All right, but you do have those two skills, right? Oh, my other skill is I'm good at talking to people. You know, okay, that's another skill. And I'm really good at pulling financing. You know, so that's like your best skill. And then you have another skill. I'm kind of good at screening renters. Okay, you might be kind of at all, mediocre at a few things, real good at other stuff, but it doesn't matter because all these different skills is adding to your net worth of skills, and you're skill stacking, and you stack all those up, and you got like a lot of weapons to use. I don't know. I probably explained it wrong, but it was a cool term. You're not going to be the best at every single thing, but just take into account those skills that you do have, stack them up, and hey, you got something there.
Yeah.
Know?
And then also you can combine your skills with other people's skills that make something even greater.
Exactly.
And have a full-blown who knows what going on.
Yeah.
What you're kind of talking about is what Skillshare is. Remember we were looking at Skillshare?
Oh, yeah. That's a platform for... You talking about that platform?
Yeah, that's share economy. I think that's a really good share economy thing where you can just pretty much post your skills and people will come get you. I think the world
it's not really your skills, was it? It was like, I guess it's your skills. If you want to learn how to paint, you can find someone to train you how to do it. That's what that website was.
Yeah.
Train you how to do certain stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
Or like, how you didn't do estheticians, someone could hire you to teach them instead of maybe...
Yeah, it's like in the beauty industry, the people who can do microbleeding, eyelashes, waxing, makeup, especially the makeup artists, because they do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Skillshare, that, like in how you said skill stacking, I think a lot of the world's starting to go there, like because one, it's cheaper and it's kind of easier to just find someone to do something for you than going to these big corporate companies. I think those are the ones that are going to pay in the share economy. Not right now, but like maybe 20, 30 years from now. Like it's almost to the point where we could teach 16-year-olds about the share economy. They could be full-blown entrepreneurs.
Right off the bat, yeah.
Straight up, right off the bat.
Right off the bat. And so, going back to something earlier, would sports nuts make good Airbnb renters?
Ours did.
So y'all got some sports nuts have been renting out spots.
Yeah, they make pretty good renters.
Because I just pictured in my head a bunch of dudes getting together and playing, drinking, and destroying your spot.
Well, it depends on how you're attracting them. The people we get usually are like couples. Like couples coming to a game or another, like two couples coming. Those are usually the good ones. They're not drinking. They're taking their girlfriend, their wife out to a game. You got to attract those ones. But like if you, remember how we were talking about, we were trying to set up Steve's Airbnb. You were kind of attracting the party group of guys coming and kicking it in your spot. Because I was like, man, certain things here's actually a tip for everybody. Like, okay, I allow smoking at my place on my patio, which I'm eventually going to take off because we had smoker issues. But I don't advertise that on my Airbnb. I make it so you can't smoke. But then in the rules section, I say you're allowed to smoke just on the patio. It actually drives away smokers, but the smokers that do smoke, they see it and they go on the patio. They make sure they're not loud smelling. So it puts them in a precaution.
Right.
Yeah. So it depends on how you word it. Big wording is big on your Airbnb.
You're branding your
exactly.
That's a big thing. That's what Jasper always talks about. Branding your Airbnb.
Yeah.
And what did he had one in Jasper's the guy from Get Paid for Your Pad, the #1 Airbnb podcast. We're catching up to him.
Yeah.
You know, we got a few 100,000 more listeners to go, but we're getting there. And and he talked about the importance of branding. And he said Amsterdam, a lot of people go there to partake, to smoke some weed, party, blah, blah, red light district, all that stuff. But he said that he wanted to attract a different kind of clientele. And he said, man, he branded his perfect couples retreat or something like that, And and so that's what he would attract most of the time, couples coming in there, and he would really harp on the little coffee shops near, not the weed coffee shops, but the actual coffee shops nearby and stuff like that. And he said, you gotta know who you want to target and brand it accordingly.
Yeah, and targeting, man, this is actually really cool. Well, not cool, but kind of crazy. So a real big thing about Airbnb, I've said this before, is your profile picture. Because I've even heard people say, hey, they've rejected people for their profile picture. Now, this is kind of funny. I kind of got the back seat of how it is to be an Airbnb guest. Now, my buddy, he hit me up yesterday. We work right across from each other. He hit me up. He goes, man, I'm looking for an Airbnb. He goes, I'm going to go ahead and start. He goes, I'm going in 2 weeks, but I'm going to keep getting rejected. I'm like, what do you mean you're going to keep getting rejected? He goes, oh, yeah, man, they discriminate on Airbnb. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, man, have you ever tried getting a room on Airbnb? I'm like, nah, but I'm a host. He goes, I know you're a host, but have you ever tried getting a room? He's like, nah. He goes, oh, yeah, man, I get rejected like 20, 30 times. He goes, I'm like, yeah, he's a black guy like myself. He's an African-American guy.
Yeah.
But dude's been in the military, so he goes, yeah, man, I tried to spice up my Airbnb. I told him I've been in the military, got a Purple Heart, retired, disabled veteran. And so, like, he did it right in front of me. He goes, watch. He booked one. We went to lunch, came back. It was rejected. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, how often do you have to do this? He goes, oh, I do this all the time, man. He goes, whenever I book an Airbnb, I have to know I can't ever get one that same day, so I have to book it out. I'm like, dang, man, that's pretty crazy. I've never, but I know it's messed up. I've never booked Airbnb from from a guest perspective. But then our last guest, it was one of our first guests. He even said, like, he noticed discrimination within Airbnb hosts. So he goes, I felt more comfortable with me and Mahogany. He goes, yeah, I felt more comfortable with you guys. And I was like, dang, man. So I guess us being hosts opens doors for other people to feel comfortable as well.
That's a great point, man.
And
what did his profile look like? I was thinking you were gonna get to something like he was like has his pit bull right here or something. Just
he's
a regular,
suit tie. He's a business corporate guy who's been in the military.
Wow,
yeah,
that's messed
man.
up.
And I never thought about
I could see it being. I mean, I definitely see it
easily.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that was one thing Airbnb was supposed to just fix their discrimination policies. But then I thought about it. I'm like, how can they do it? Because if you don't have on Instant Book, you can literally just cipher through who you want to stay at your place.
Exactly.
And with our timeshares, like I think Airbnb knows it's a timeshare, and so they give us leniency when we decline guests because they know it's pretty much because there's no room there. But yeah, and I never thought about it from that perspective, and that was kind of interesting. I was like, dang, man, which I knew stuff like that happens, but it's just like you got to book your place 2 weeks in advance and make sure you stay on top of it because you know you're going to get rejected. I was like, dang, man. And this dude...
He needs to get some scissors and an Abercrombie and Fitch catalog and cut out a nice picture and put that as his profile.
That's the only problem. And you know what the funny part about it was, though? He told me, because he was in the military, he said he did a test on it. He said he had one lady, he tried to book with one lady's place. She rejected him. And he had his military buddy, who's a white guy. He had the same type of outfit as him. She booked it and she accepted him.
Wow.
So
yeah, I'm definitely not surprised.
That was the funny part was, though? They did a real good. She had on that flexible cancellation, so they waited till like the day of and they canceled it.
Boom. What's up?
I was like, that's a good one. Yeah. What was that place you said where they pretty much posted it for the discrimination purposes, or you said it was for minorities? It was a share economy place.
Oh, no, what's his name brought that up?
Who was
Al.
it?
Did Al bring that up?
was it Al or?
Was it me or was it someone?
Al, you
inclusive?
were Jasper.
It was about inclusive. Might have been
Jasper.
Jasper.
It's like all inclusive.
Yeah, something like that.
So, and for things like that, man, I think, if Airbnb, I don't, but at the same time, I don't know how you stop the discrimination. Because there's, even the guy from Short-Term Rental Secrets, which I hope to have him on the podcast soon because he has some really good information. He said he doesn't like to discriminate against people, but he does know that, hey, he has his whole house. People can ruin things, so he does kind of discriminate on age or whatnot. So,
Right.
But the way I look at it, I mean, I wouldn't want to have it turned off so they can't discriminate. If you don't want me at your house, I certainly don't want to be there spending my money. So, I mean, go ahead and reject me because of my color or because of my age, like whatever. There's people out there who do want my company. So
exactly, and I'm like, why would you reject someone like him? And you're rejecting money pretty much. Like, that's the shocking part about it. Like, So,
Right.
But yeah.
It brings me back. It reminds me a little bit of this movie I watched one time. I forgot the name of the movie, whatever. But this this black guy was telling this other younger black dude, he's like real young. And the other black guy is real older guy. He's trying to tell him about the past. He goes, "Yeah, aren't you glad all this discrimination is over? We could stay other places now, or we could have we could be here now. We don't have to be." We don't have to, they can't say we can't eat here or this and that. And he goes, well, it's good and it's bad because we had really thriving black communities because people would, they wouldn't go to the white community to go eat at this place. Yeah. So they'd come here and we had our own thriving communities. But as soon as all that went away, this community went downhill. Because you can go anywhere you wanted, this and that. Because I guess he was saying there's a downside to it too. But like you're saying, you capitalizing on people who African American or whatever, Hispanic, they can't get a spot somewhere. I mean, but hey, that's more money for you, right?
Yeah. And so, that economy downshift when things like that happen. Yeah, and then now it can kind of pick back up with the whole share economy.
I didn't even think about it because I looked at y'all's reviews. And I was looking at, and it was a lot of African American people staying at y'all's place. Yeah. And I wonder if they see the picture right away, and then they see like a picture of like a white family or whatever, and if that happens too, I'd rather stay here. They're my. Me
and Mahogany were thinking that as well because I was like, man, a lot of people, like even the last guests who came, they were Hispanic. They came for the game, and like I think people feel like, okay, I'll be more accepted. You know what I mean? I don't have to. I don't like, especially like my coworker. I don't have to go through 10 people to get a room.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, dang, man, that's crazy. Go through that many.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on who has had past experiences with racism or prejudices that determines if they stay with certain people or have certain people in their house or not. Because, maybe some people are raised to think a certain race of people are bad, so they don't want that at their house or don't want to risk it. Because my best friend, she's from Colombia. And she's had a lot of stigmas on black people that she, has asked me about. Is this true? What's this? Da-da-da. And I'm able to direct her, like, no, not all black people are like this. I mean, you see me and my husband, it's actually rare I come across black people who act like the stigmatism. Uh-huh. And she's just like, oh, wow. So I think some people just don't know. Because we've had plenty of, every culture has stayed at our house for the most part. Pakistani and Caucasian, black people, Asian people.
Yeah. Because even my friend Jose, Jose I work with, he said the same thing about Airbnb. He's Puerto Rican. He goes, yeah, man, I have to put on a suit and tie and have a picture of me, my wife, and my son. And I was like, that's the picture I use to attract more people. Branding is tough on Airbnb. You do have to brand it right, definitely. Because some people... which we don't go through their pictures. We kind of just Google the people. Yeah, we Google them. But like one guy, he said he just clicks on their profile and just goes to the pictures that are on their profile. And he said he saw one guy holding a beer and he kind of rejected it.
See, when I go stalk people's Facebooks to find out if I want them to stay or not, I'm more so looking at are you a real person? Do you have a life somewhere? Or is this like you got one profile picture up and the rest are like images? Like, who are you?
Right.
But, if I see...
I ain't gonna lie. I kind of discriminate because that guy who stayed with your uncle looked like a creeper.
He did look kind of creepy.
He looked out like, I mean, he was sitting in this little small, cramped up room, and he had this spiked up hair, and I'm like,
Some people aren't photogenic.
No, but he was just like frowning, and then even the guy who stayed at our house who said he was trying to stay around the corner, but the guy had a frowning face profile page, like he was frowning in his picture. He goes,
"Oh man!"
And he booked us instead, and he told us
you do want to look friendly.
Yeah, he said you guys look more friendly and inviting, so I booked you guys.
First impressions, man.
Yeah, first impressions.
That's what I love about the show. We tackle topics that other real estate or other Airbnb podcasts really don't talk about too much.
Yeah, definitely.
And discrimination, they might gloss over it real quick,
Yeah.
But yeah, we get in there.
Yeah.
And so
that's real big on Airbnb, man, and
hopefully it helps people out. Stay at our Airbnb. Hey, everybody, stay at our Airbnbs, and you'll be welcomed.
As long as you don't look like the kid with the trench coat that wants to shoot at the school.
I don't know if he's got good reviews. Maybe he likes trench coats.
Yeah, he got good reviews.
One thing I wanted to bring up, because me and my wife and my daughters, I told you we went to Padre, to South Padre Island a few weeks ago, a few weeks ago, and so we stayed at it just right about August 15th. That's when the down season starts over there. So you can get spots pretty cheap, and we got a spot that was on the beach. You could see the sunrise, which is what I really wanted, beachfront. For like $150 a night, and which is a really good deal. And that was $150 after taxes, all the fees and everything. And so I was like, man. And I was thinking to myself, because that's after we didn't get the condo, because the HOA was screwed up. And I was thinking, man, if this really nice place is only charging $150, man, I'd have been hard for me to make money on mine that wasn't even on the beach,
Yeah.
And anyways, so I was out. Maybe that comforted me some. But this was it wasn't on Airbnb, this thing. It was on like one of the property rental places on the beach, on Padre, rented out for these people. So people have these spots and they just hand it over to them and these rental agencies, and they rent it out. And so we get there, and I have to go to the office to get the keys. It's all old school, right? And so I get the keys, and then he gives me this paper. He goes, "Okay, this is what is provided with your condo," and it said, I think, one roll of toilet paper in each bathroom. And you get the first trash bag. Is on us. You get one trash bag. After that, you have to buy trash bags. Wow. One thing of paper towels. And I was like, man, I was like, you can't get more. And he gave me some extra towels because I asked him, because he was at the spot. And he's like, no, well, if you need more toilet paper, you got to go buy the toilet paper. You got to go buy, if you need more soap, because they can start you off with one little hotel bar soap. Yeah. You got to go buy soap. You got to go with this and that. I was like, man, this is the old school way to do it. BYOT, bring your own toilet paper. And so I was like, man, Airbnb, they got that advantage. People provide you with toilet paper and enough, stuff. There was not one thing of salt in the place, no pepper, no cooking oil. You had to go buy all that stuff. Yeah.
See, he wasn't in the hospitality. He wasn't looking at it from a hospitality standpoint, right?
Right, no, but he just handed it over to the rental agency. They're the one that rented it out to us, and they don't provide any of that stuff. This guy doesn't provide any of that stuff.
He's probably spending all the money for the rental company.
Yeah.
And they're probably charging
30%
to be terrible hosts. I'm serious, man. I don't get it. Yeah, people charge 30% to be terrible hosts, man.
Yeah. So anyways, we rented it because it was a good price, and we stopped at a place and bought all the stuff we needed. So,
but that's a lot. I see that happening so often, and hearing about people staying at Airbnbs that were like bare bones, literally. Yeah. But I guess, some people just don't care to make it as big, or they don't know it could be as big as it could be if they put more effort into it. Maybe they just don't know. Maybe they just don't want to put in the work.
Yeah,
too. I don't know.
But for the most part, the ones I've stayed at, we've stayed at a lot, and they provide all that stuff. Yeah. And at least something to cook with. You don't have to go buy cooking oil and butter, and they provide you with the basics. Maybe some mustard and ketchup in there or something like that. But this place was the old school way of doing it. Yeah. And there you go.
Yeah, man.
Huh?
The things on the lights, everything was written.
Oh yeah. The light switches and all that stuff, and they put like this paper on there, or I don't know if they wrote on the wall, but they put like slips of paper, and they wrote on the wall in Sharpie. He goes, the left light turns on the TV, this and that. The right switch turns off the fan light. I mean, they had all these instructions on all the lights throughout the house. All the light switches throughout the house had like detailed instructions of which one did what. You know?
Wow, man, that's crazy.
I guess it's helpful, but it was a little tacky. Is because they just wrote it. You know, it wasn't on a piece of paper. I mean, it wasn't like typed or anything like that. It was just written out. This light does this light does that.
Yeah, and I'm happy you brought up the whole Padre and how you said like right now it's a down season. I tell all people, man, I mean, if you have that extra income, you just want 3-4 months out of the year to boom real quick, go to a vacation area. But if you like looking for year round, man, find an area where it's constant traffic. That's what I call it, constant traffic, to get your Airbnb off the ground. The vacation sites, the vacation areas, like what South Padre, perfect example, you're going to have that down season, you know? So you have to prepare for that. Either make sure you're making enough money in that 5-month span for the whole year. Yeah. Or, you know, it's pretty cool about kind of budgeting it out. That's one thing me and Mahogany did, I think 2 weeks ago, kind of got our sweet spot on our number, like where we eventually want to end up and how we're going to get there, what amenities we're going to add, and how we're eventually going to get to that number, and that'll be our financial freedom number. So
nice. Yeah. Well, this was a good show, I think. You know, we were all over the place, but we talked
all over the place.
Covered some good ground, and it was great having Mahogany guest host or host or co-host or whatever.
I'm just here.
And my wife Lupita, her first appearance on the show.
Her first appearance.
Thank you.
So, and I'll put her information too up if you find me through the site, or you want to get some esthetician stuff done if you're in the DFW area, and she'll hook you up for a good price, real cheap. Hey, that's our second ad of the day. Hey, how come you and I don't have ads? We're the ones,
I know.
running this thing.
We'll have them soon, man. Once we're
selling these magic pens that take all your pain away.
But
we had a great time. You want to do the spiel?
Hit us up, liveletthrive@gmail.com. Go to the website, liveletthrive.com. Hit us up on Facebook at liveletthrive. You can hit artistvacations.com. Oh, no, not artistvacations.com. That's coming soon. But Artist Vacations on Facebook. We advertise for Live Let Thrive and for our rentals on there. And Steve will be up soon.
Yeah, I will be up soon, like at 4:30 in the morning. Oh, dang. Gotta go to work in the morning. No. My site will be up soon, and we'll be doing this. We'll be you can Airbnb over here at the art house. But what's up?
Yeah. All right. Good show.
Yeah. Thanks Mahogany.
No problem, y'all. Take care. Be easy.
Be easy.
Oh yeah. Thanks for the listeners. Neely, Tim Val, Dave, Kiana Fisher. Thanks for listening.
And everyone else who's listening.
Everyone else.
Eddie Bag of Money.
Yeah, Eddie Bag of Money. And we're signing off. Stevie Stacks and Money Mike.
And Money Mike. Yeah. Not Magic Myka. Money Mike. Adios.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.